I'm Trek with 2Ks. Alrighty. Let's see how this works out. Hola, and buenos dias, buenos noches, GnGs. My name is Trek with 2Ks, and this is Trek with 2Ks live on a Tuesday because I got lazy on Monday and I still wanted to do something this week. So, yeah, because if you like don't have the consistency, the algos mess with you, right? So, I didn't want that to happen. Oh no, did I do that? Hold on, I'm over here messing around with stuff right now. Is it gonna show? Is it gonna show? Oh, okay. All right. Stay with Yeah. Sorry. I'm over here like looking at multiple screens trying to figure out which way or which thing am I paying attention to? Because the audio is doing something. Oh, that's why. There we go. Right, I'm assuming that should fix my issue. Um, so yeah, it is a Tuesday versus a Monday. Um, I'm hoping that uh folks have made it through the weekend. You got to recharge your batteries. You were able to get into Monday, and it wasn't like Monday blues or like Monday chaos, depending on what kind of job you have. Excuse me. Um, I know for some people, a number of things like life been out here lifing. Um, Case in point, my like my homeboys. What is going on with my cursor? Yeah, so let me do that. So, what was I saying? Oh, that's what was going on. Okay, that's why that was messing with me. So to the point, yeah. My coworker, his grandfather passed. I literally met him um last year. Older gentleman, really cool. Met the rest of the family, and for all of the stories that I've heard about various members of the family, I finally got to put names to faces. Like I work with one. I'm in the as those of you who know about the whole gang thing. The brother and his son, I'm in the same MSC with them. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, and then like another friend of mine who is in the medical field came across an accident and the person did not make it. Like by the time they got to the vehicle was on top of the person. I say these things to reiterate the point of, like appreciating the people while they're here. Like Pawpaw, my coworker at my battle, his grandfather, he ended up passing away doing one of the things that he really loved, which was mowing the lawn on his ride along. Um, wasn't in the hospital, wasn't out in the streets. He it wasn't a tragic, painful situation. You know what I'm saying? Where case in point, like the other thing of what my nursing friend came along across, which was person ejected out of a vehicle that ends up landing on them, instant. Um, Life is out here lifing, y'all, on multiple different levels and which of ways, right? So whether you out here being a millionaire, don't forget there was a CEO who had a situation that they didn't get to walk away from a couple weeks ago. Whether you out here being just a Joe Blow nobody, life out here lifing. So you have these opportunities to enjoy the company of the people who you care about. Take them, enjoy them, make them, because life is out here lifing, y'all. Like, seriously, life is out here lifing, and you do not have the guarantee of tomorrow, as they say. I think the mouse batteries is dying, but yeah, so I'm gonna get into a couple of things. Not that many things actually caught my attention. This like over the weekend, but then like what is going on with YouTube right now? Yeah, not that much stuff really caught my attention. And then even on Monday, like for what I was gonna go through, it wasn't even that much stuff. And then apparently today, the whole thing with the SEC came out, hence the title of SEC rings the dinner bell for TradeFi. Uh, Come on, like the timing of it all. We got the lineup for the stable coins, and then now you come out with this new position on staking and it not being a security. If that ain't ringing the dinner bell, I don't know what is. If that ain't ringing the dinner bell, I don't know what is. So it, it it's about to look crazy out here. And this isn't me saying this is financial advice in no which way. Whatever part of the space that you mess with, like, do what you do, make sure you're doing your due diligence. Just make sure, like, you're not playing with your like rent money, your food money, your kids' money, you know what I'm saying? Your car note money. Just on the end of like, is that what you want to deal with? I I would hope not, because if you lose it, like it's crazy out here. Prices is going way high, right? But look at this situation right now. There's a like it's seemingly like a 180 in how the Trump administration is looking at crypto. Everyone is not everyone. There are those who are trying to sell the talking points of the Genius Act as being like a positive move and a step in the right direction for crypto via stablecoins. And I already got my take on that one. And then you have the folks who are now about to be super not illustrious, but zealous about this SEC position. And let's not like let's not mince it on the end of this. Isn't a what's the word I'm looking for? This isn't a decentralization of staking. This isn't a returning to the original openness of staking and what you could do in the early days of staking versus how it's been playing out, let's say the last 5 years. Because in my mind, what this looks like to me is they're going to move, or they're okay. They're changing the direction of the. Are my batteries dead? Yep, I think the batteries are dead on that one. Sorry, y'all. But they're changing the direction of how you get into the market. What's going on, my guy? What's going on, Battle? Yeah, I'm doing this a pop-up Tuesday, bro, because yesterday, by the time I got in the house, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I said I'm gonna do this today because I got home earlier and work it out from there. But thanks for joining in. I appreciate you. Um, so what is going on? Why did this not post? Huh. Anywho. Um, so uh where was I going? Yeah, so this avenue that is being presented now of where stablecoins is a accepted space of the crypto um landscape to be in. The quote American government has been the, oh wow, like look, now it's accepted in the US, so that means everything is going to be okay. Listen, you already know, bro. You already know. Today I'm not even going to run down that particular rabbit hole, but yeah, you already know what's up, man. I appreciate. So what is going on with YouTube? Because I can see the comments on the restream side, but I cannot see the comments on the YouTube side. Huh. I don't understand. But anywho, um, so with this staking situation, you're gonna have it that the average Joe is gonna try to FOMO their way in, right? Well, they're going to FOMO their way in. Um, you'll have the people who are post C19 getting into the staking realm, and then you'll have the folks who are playing the game pre 18. No, not in the 18. That's a lie. I'm going too far. But let's say the folks who are around for like the 2020 period, the 2019 period, and the folks who were early in the more decentralized platforms that allowed you to stake versus the way the landscape looks now with the 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 centralized exchanges, right? And not to mention, oh man, like y'all think it look crazy now for how the the exchanges are showing y'all the numbers on how things are moving. And again, you got three types of folks in, or maybe like even four types of let's say users, right? You're gonna have the institutional side folks who are, they're going to be moving how they're moving, and they're going to be able to do at large sum. You got the centralized exchange platform that's taking their position and figuring out their way to get a cut on what's going on with what you're doing, as well as what the institutional player is doing, or the whale player. The whale player and the institutional player is two different people or entities. Let's say it that way. Then you got the folks who are FOMOing in, who just got to understand that like stable coins, these weird things exist, and somehow they're connected to treasuries. And then you're gonna have again like the old head folks who were doing this for how long, who were messing with the staking back in like 2020, the folks who got their bag in like 21, the folks who was messing around at the coder level and writing out um Ethereum based contracts that were definitely nice nest eggs, or more like I would use honeypot, but not exactly honeypots. So, and then, oh my God. And so now you have it that you have the stuff going on with Ethereum. You got Solana in the mix. You got Binance in the mix. Is Phantom still a thing? I don't even know. Honestly, like I be telling y'all, like I really just have left a lot of stuff alone. Right. Hold on one second. Where are you? There we go. So y'all can see what I am talking about. Side note, that is a generated, well, it's an augmented image of me sitting over in Harper's Ferry. And I was testing out today to see whose thumbnail I was gonna go with. Unfortunately, Grok lost bad because Grok, for whatever reason, has the hardest time doing black people's skin. Like, for whatever reason, every time when I do the anime style with Grok, it has me looking like some straight up like what joint I'm trying to think of. Think of like a late '90s anime character, but like the white ones with like the adventure hair. I don't know what it is. That's just how Grok sees me for some reason. So let's jump into, there we go. All right. So, like I was saying, SEC declares crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities. Again, this is the SEC ringing the dinner bell for TradeFi. This ain't for the regular average Joe folk, because we're not going to be able to move as fast as these folks here are moving, for how connected they are into the exchanges. And I don't know how long this run is going to last, but like in my mind, this would literally turn into like what Wall Street turns into, where you have hyper, what do they call it? Hyper something trading. And again, we're like, arguably, we already had that in the crypto side because of how the smart contracts would work and how you could write them up if you knew how to write up smart contracts that were able to like hold, manage, store, and transfer your staking tokens, or if you knew how to combine it through what is the name of that site? There was a site that literally it was like uh what, like plug and play ish, but it was more like you had to arrange the protocol blocks in the right order for it to execute. I do not remember what the name of this site is right now, and I don't know if it still exists, like if it's still up and running. And it was on Ethereum. It was an Ethereum based platform, and I cannot remember the name of it. It had a really weird ass name too. Like it wasn't like a seemingly connected name. Yes, 100%. The FOMO is going to be real. But yeah, it wasn't a seemingly easy name to remember connected to like staking or like doing smart contracts or anything like that. But I wish I could remember the name of it right now, but I so cannot. But nonetheless, like, yeah, to what only Bitcoin is saying, like the FOMO is going to be ridiculous. The crashes are going to be crazy. And then just think about it. By the time you figure it out on, and then you got to, pardon me. And then you got to remember the crypto market for the exchanges. Yo, hold on a second. All right. So, and y'all got to remember that the crypto exchanges that are at the forefront of this right now, for so you have the American market, and then when you start jumping into um international markets, the international markets is going to be a whole different scale of play, not player, but um I don't want to say person, because more than likely the big scale folks are going to be individuals, um right, um representing uh a company or a group of folks, right? But what I'm saying is, for like Fidelity or JP Morgan, funny enough, I'm drinking tea. Um uh Fidelity or like a JP Morgan or a Bank of America, like when the traditional TradeFi, at least for how my take is on this, and this isn't me saying, oh, I'm having these side conversations and I know everything. I don't. I could be also way the hell off on this, right? But for the traditional the TradeFi names and brands that we know here in the States, they're not going to initially look to do their own like staking sections. It'll probably be something where like it gets pushed over through some division within the company. We're like, oh well, we'll have a section that explores blah 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 for staking, and then their connection is going to be more direct to whatever the exchange is. But again, it's going to be the main players we have here in the US. So like that's the Kraken, that's Binance, the America side, that's Coinbase, right? Those are those main folks there. On the international side of it, though, again, to the whale folks, you're going to have those folks who they already did what they needed to do in order to get the accounts, and in order to be able to, hey, this is geo locked, I'm not worried about it, I'm gonna still be able to operate. Those folks are going to be the one that will be able to jump in and out of staking, not allotments, but staking platforms. And oh man, like I'm, and I'll be honest, I'm literally just thinking of the stuff off head as I understand staking, and as I understand how, if you're basing this stuff utilizing smart contracts, and if you're telling me that you have it where it's on a platform like Solana, or not a platform, but like it's on blockchains like Solana, like Ethereum, if you're going to also have inter exchange where you could um take the thing that you staked and you can have it transfer, not transfer, exchange to another crypto, like the gaming is already, bro, like there's definitely a set of people who got the heads up on this, if not within the last 24 hours, they got it at least a week ago. Like, so come the end of this month, but what are we, we're really still in the top of the month. I'm curious on how this is going to look by the end of the summer, because it's too easy to do the smart contracts. Even if you're going through these centralized exchanges, like it's gonna be things that they didn't think about, or they didn't learn from when it was on the DeFi platforms. Because scammers and scammers and scammers are ingenuitive, right? That's just part of what it is. That's part of that environment, of the technology environment. everything is going to be moving at a fast enough pace, not to mention you're going to have other distractions going on. And it's definitely other stupid, crazy things playing out in the world right now. So, people going to be doing what they do, and life is going to be doing what it do, and folks aren't going to pay attention. And some folks, you're going to wake up in the morning and realize like your whole state, the joint got dumped because the whale left out like an hour before you woke up. Again, the crypto space is 24-hour markets. And if you have it set up that you're able to to operate in geo-locked regions, case in point, if you are on Binance International, but like let's say you are technically an American citizen, but you have a passport for another country that is within the jurisdiction that's like, all right, bet you can operate this over here as this citizen. Just saying, some of the ways people do their thing. It's gonna be crazy out here, folks. The stories are gonna be crazy, but nonetheless, going into this one, shout out to Jason Lopp. Like, I saw this, and let me put some context as to like why I actually bookmarked this, because so basically I didn't look at the original post. I just looked at this one part right here where it talks about somebody getting arrested. They were a person known in the crypto space, and um, somebody simply asks, "Hey, is this true?" And if you haven't messed around with Grok on Twitter, like Grok is it. Granted, I literally wrote a thing over on LinkedIn about how Grok is racist because it can't figure out how to make black people's skin in the anime style. But in other regards, Grok is pretty interesting when you use it within the realms of Twitter and being able to verify some information, right? So, case in point, this idea here of, as opposed to trying to tag someone else in and ask the question to that person, the person tagged Grok, and Grok came up with this answer here about the claim that is made in the post above. Which, another point to add, that if you're actually understanding how things are going now with searches and people using, and I'm also one of those people, I will definitely use one of these LLMs to ask a question about something. um the key part though is like making sure your prompt for what you're trying to ask is I don't want to say correct, but like it has the right context to it. But nonetheless, so the point being is the current state of AI trustworthiness is, to his point of, so we're now over here just trusting the AI, forgetting that the AI is just, software. It's not a person. It doesn't have a quote. Well, he's not saying this. This is me reading into it. It doesn't have a trustworthiness level, like in terms of like humanistic trait tendency, whatever. It has a accuracy reading for sure, in that it can search through and try to connect and figure out what words match to who this person is. Blank nose '06. And is there some other post that is connected to whoever this '06 person is? Doesn't match. Let's put this all together. Excuse me. That's all that's happening here. But there is a level of of trust that is developing in these systems that arguably is being taken away from people. Like, I was literally having this conversation with somebody the other day over the weekend about what the hell was it? The trust the social contract between the state at the local level being the actual state and at the federal level being the government, and how the level of trust in the social contract of where these two levels of the state said we will do these things to take care of the public. We will not take advantage of the public. We will not abuse the public. That's the basic of the social contract, right? For how the government at these two stages looks to run the people. Hey, you guys don't go crazy. You follow majority of the laws. You listen to what we say to do. And like, as long as we don't go crazy with power and we don't abuse, like everything should be cool. Don't throw us out. My question is, and this is not crypto related, but it is kind of crypto related. Actually, now that I think about it, let me finish this first thought and then get to the other part of the thought that I just had. So now my question was, considering the current state of things and how much mistrust and I would argue gaslighting is being done on the side of damn, what is going on? Gaslighting on the side of the state, where we're having situations happen in public view and then official position is like, oh, that didn't happen, or that's not real, or no, the person who was actually the victim is wrong. Or you have things where your official person from that department, that agency, that organization is saying things that counter the person who is supposed to be the expert in that thing. Case in point, what your man Trump said about the intelligence secretary person. But like that, the trust, we're losing it for the people, and then we're putting it into these non-human software programs. Like, I don't know. I just kind of thought that was weird. Now, yeah, I get weird isn't the right word, but I was wondering about that. Like, how did we get to there? And it is growing. It is a growing thing of mistrust in the social contract, and the other side of the parties involved this to the public, and there is a growing trust in these AI software programs. And even if look at the articles that are talking about AIs and it's giving it these humanistic tendencies. Like I forgot who I was. Eli the computer guy. That's who I was listening to. Shout outs to him. I've been paying more attention to his stuff of late, man. And I have to say, some of the things he says really have me questioning our tech development. And I'm talking specifically in like the West slash America, or really America slash the West. And how it's not as for at the forefront, or um 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 leading the way, and super cool as we tend to sell it as to the public, especially the American public. Because I promise you, if you've been outside of this country and you go to some other places, there are things that you will see within the city infrastructure, within the community development, within the banking system, within the food markets, within the entertainment sector, within just other stuff that you come back here and you're just like, what the hell is this? And why am I paying so much for it? Like, if you've been outside of the US, you know what I'm talking about. From Dubai to stuff that I've seen in South Africa, even when I was out in Chile a couple of years ago. Shoot, I remember how fast I seen um the RFI like tap and go card thing take off in Toronto. Like, it took off in Toronto way faster than it took off here in the States. And I'm talking like in comparison to like a Buffalo, New York, or like New York City, and what you call it is just right there. That's like less than a 6-hour drive into Canada to go to Toronto. But nonetheless, like, this is where we are. people are losing their trust in people, and I'm not gonna say everybody, but there's definitely a shift that's going on right now. And so the thought that I had before that I was like, I wonder about this right now is when it reaches its crescendo, its high point, it's what do they call it when you have like the market adoption is so much and then it has the turning point on it. But the basic point of like it is very clear and apparent that the public is not with the shits anymore, and the social contract is going to have to be reviewed. I'm curious on where or how crypto plays in to that shift, because for where crypto is now, you are more controlled, limited, and routed now than you were 5 years ago when it came to crypto. And I would dare anybody to challenge me on that one. For how the setup of things work now, you are definitely more controlled now in the crypto space than you were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, definitely 10 years ago. So like for all this talk that we have of of um of crypto, in my mind, what are we doing? Why are you not doing it? Why are you not? There we go. I did the wrong one. But for all this talk we have of the decentralization, the I get to control it and it be my own thing. Like most of the stuff that you do to control it and have sovereignty over it as a financial instrument, as an economic instrument, as an economic tool, most folks don't do. Most folks don't know how to use that part of the stuff because they're on them like, oh, I got to use Coinbase. Oh, I have to use who's the other one? I don't even like PayPal. Like I got to use, and I'm gonna even throw shots at Cash App. Like it's crazy to me when I think about it. And like I said the other day, like I look at it and it's just like if I would have gotten in after the 2020s, 2026 or 23, like would I be as annoyed with this space as I am right now? I don't think so. And I say that on the end of if you were pre 2020, you were pre class of 17, you were pre class of 14, like, because 14 is where like the numbers kind of start coming in, really around maybe 15. But like it ain't take that much to be a couple, you know what I'm saying, a couple hundred on the crypto side of it, on Bitcoin, at least Bitcoin, right? But like knowing and playing around and doing things in the space that we was doing back then compared to what you said, after my last deployment, the American exceptionalism Kool-Aid 4 was removed and my thirst dropped away off. Yes, my truck, bruh. Some XRP. I bought some before I knew about Bitcoin. Yo, I know a number of people who got in. Let me jump to this comment and I'm gonna jump to the other one. I know a number of people at this stage who got into crypto because of XRP and didn't know Bitcoin was a thing until after the fact. I know a number of people like that. But again, like I look at it now and I'm just like, yo, like, how would this have worked out? If I would have got in now, would I be as annoyed with the space as I am now? Would I even be doing this damn YouTube thing right now, talking with y'all about the BS of it? I don't know. I I I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have had the passion for it. I don't think I would have had the interest enough to be like, oh wow, let me do this YouTube channel thing and like talk about crypto stuff. Um I don't think I would have gotten into the price talk stuff. I think I would have still been on the stay away from that. But I don't think I would be as annoyed with the space as I am now. I don't think I would be as annoyed with the space as I am now. I can't say for sure, but I don't know. It's just something that I'm wondering now since I said this shit out loud the other day, and I've been wondering like, how would I take this space? Would it be the same stuff? I don't know. Like, would I know all of the people that I know now? Like, there's folks that I've met back in 24, back in 13, back in 2012. Like, being around that long, like you see the people come and go, which this probably might be into my segue on this, but it's not going to be a clean break. Why? Because I want to touch on this one thing, and I'm gonna get into it. Yes, the Kool-Aid, bro. The Kool-Aid is crazy, man. Look, I don't think I ever really drank the Kool-Aid. IV. yeah. Okay. You right. All right. Yeah. I read it in the Romans. My bad. Yeah. I'm just waiting for Coinbase, PayPal, Cash App, Robinhood, etc., to become nationalized in the same fashion as business in Cuba and Castro. I don't see that happening. I see buyouts. I see consolidation and buyouts. Like, I don't see Jack selling off Cash App. I see the potential exit for Robinhood. I don't know if I see the exit for PayPal and Coinbase. Coinbase might buy one of the other ones or a couple of the other ones because that's also a strategy too in order to work dominating a market. Like Google did that for years. Microsoft did that for years. Um, um, Amazon did that for years. When they talk about how Amazon was like the number one book selling company online and blah blah blah, part of how that played out was I forget who Bezos got the influx of money from, but it was like a couple hundred million or something like that. And then they just went out and just like bought all of the competitors that they could to dominate the market. And it's so interesting when you think about it. Books were the lowest hanging fruit, but as a product and as thinking about logistics, it yeah, there's a thing about like paper production and like paperback books and softcover books and blah blah blah. But like to work out the kinks of how to move a product from point A to point B and how the whole production line process works, and as well as like the backfill part of it, when I think about this now, logically, it makes sense that they ended up moving into expanding to other products. It was just that the book market was the lowest hanging fruit because who the hell was really paying attention to the book market besides like bookstores? But bookstores didn't have the investment money to get scaled. Thank you to technology and the internet. And like I said, when you think about it, it really makes a hell of a lot of sense that, oh, let's go at a market that no one pays attention to and we'll run through all of the kinks and experimentations to figure out how to have the best logistics. And once we get that down pat, expand into other products. Who saw that coming? But the people on the inside who was big thinking. But anywho, let me jump over to this other joint that I wanted to get into this. So, I'm gonna tap on this and I'm gonna run off to the next thing. So, what was this one about? Watcher Guru. I've been telling y'all about them for a minute. I pay attention to them on stuff. Uh, Buyouts are certainly possible. Yeah, buyouts. I see buyouts, man. So Justin, President Trump says 4 people are being considered to replace Jerome Powell as a Federal Reserve chair. Not financial advice. This is more so one of those, like, if you want to understand more about the Federal Reserve situation, there's this dude called the Uneducated Economist. This dude out of, I think, Seattle. I think he out of Seattle or Washington, one of the two. But he out there on the West Coast, and I want to say he been on my radar for like maybe 3 years now. But he be breaking down the whole Federal Treasury Reserve thing, and like he'll make his points on how it connects to different financial assets like the crypto or like the precious metals or dealing with cash and stuff like that. But one of the things that he's been harping on of late, and I'm gonna throw this out there, because I think a lot of people, and I'll be honest, I was one of those people. I didn't understand how the Federal Reserve worked. And this whole thing on what's being pumped through the mainstream on, well, if he just lets go of Powell and replaces them with one of these other people, that's just going to make everything honky dory and all good to go. But if you don't know, the Powell is only the public speaker for the collective of people who vote on how they're gonna move forward with the Federal Reserve policies. So interest rates go up, interest rates go down. It's not Powell as a solo person who does it. He's just one person who has a vote in the collective. So this idea right here of like, oh, well, I'm gonna just fire him and then I'm gonna put this other person in. But that then means you have to go and try to fire the other people. But no one's talking about that part of it because he can't fire the other people. I actually question the whole thing of him being able to fire Powell. But the way that it's being pushed out into this public and the public narrative around it is Powell's the guy. He's the weak link. He's the one that has to be targeted. Arguably, this is all a bullshit of distraction. But I just need to throw these things out here that people understand. Like it, the way that it's being told to you is not how the Federal Reserve works. He just can't fire Powell. And Powell is only one vote within the collective of people who have to vote when they do stuff. And that's all I'm gonna say on that one. And I'm moving on. Other stuff apparently came out. I didn't really like dig into the comments on this one about the Operation Choke Point, but basically, again, and it's actually been a damn near back-to-back week thing of like Caitlin Long saying some things that I agree with, and y'all know I will definitely throw some shade when it's something I don't agree with. But nonetheless, this whole situation of the Operation Choke Point that started within the Biden's administration run, which was very anti-crypto, and now here we are turned around. But she's making a point basically like, hey, the people who were overseeing the banks were the issue. It wasn't the banks. And now when you start going through, because there's another post over here, if you are following. If you follow me on Twitter, you can literally go through and look at the stuff that I be posting on here. But she initially was going through this and talking about how when you start reading into what's being put out publicly, like a number of folks that were in this thing early, they not there no more. They moved over to different departments. They wiped their hand of the situation, and they've moved on. Arguably, I feel like some people should be held accountable for how this stuff has been done. Like, depending on what you was doing around like 2016, 2019, man, banks was out here freezing accounts, taking money and being like, nah, we don't got to give you nothing. And on top of it, you just end up wasting money trying to go fight them in the courts. Like, where's that accountability? Where's that part of the social contract where the folks who were put in charge of the financial sector to be like, okay, so this person wasn't actually doing criminal activity. This person was doing a reasonable, legit job, and yes, they were being compensated in this thing. Did they deal with the taxes? Yes. Did they deal with the other paperwork that they needed to? Yes. We're not talking about the folks who are doing illegal things. We're talking about the folks who are on, the quote right side of the law. Where's the accountability for those folks? Where's the justice for those folks? I don't know. Just throwing this out there that apparently those old heads ain't there no more. I'm gonna jump into this one last. When I tell y'all about that, y'all gonna laugh because somebody tagged me and I was just like, what the hell is this? Why am I even looking at this? What is this? Hold on, where's the other one? No. This one I'm gonna have to dig into a little bit later on my own time. Because I am curious on what is actually being considered like new technological developments within the crypto space. Like, is it actually new protocols that are doing something that is either innovative or like does it help with privacy? Does it help with control? Does it help with distribution? Is it helping in those regards? Because if you're telling me that all you did was you put something in that like lowered the security factor, then nah, I'm not really hyped around anything that lowers the security factor. Is not helping to enable um economic sovereignty or digital sovereignty in terms of like protecting your privacy and your ability to like hold, store, move, and spend the crypto. So that's just my thought process. You don't gotta agree with me, I promise you. Where are you? So this story, this story, I don't know who this dude is here, but nonetheless, 4 Chinese nationals in the Philippines kidnap a man seeking money transfer services. I guess the Maliston, what man, whatever. I guess they changed something on their side that the image doesn't show anymore. I don't know who the person was. That might have been like a commissioner or a chief or somebody within that local PD department out there in the Philippines. Bottom line is, 4 Chinese dudes, as this is stated, threatened somebody and was like, "Hey, you got to transfer about 50,000 worth of crypto." Which I'm not even gonna dig into it, but as far as reading the actual article, but I would be curious as to, well, what cryptos did y'all transfer? And because that almost sounds like you got targeted because somehow they knew you had at least 50,000 worth of crypto. Is that multiple cryptos or did you have just one crypto that was that much? Who knows? Because I'm not going to actually read the article. My point, folks, is if you out here walking around with like, your PayPal, your Venmo, your Cash App, your Kraken, your Coinbase, your Binance wallet, all on one device, And then on top of it, you be leaving your Bluetooth on, your NFC on, you leaving the Wi-Fi on. Like, come on now. What are we doing? Like, we're asking to get got. Um, like something I learned a couple weeks ago, and it it never occurred to me. I questioned it, but I didn't really question it until I heard how. Because you ever wonder how in like bank fraud, not bank fraud, credit card scams, like how is it that the people know to go after certain cards? So basically, there's some whole thing about the way that like the value of the card is identified a certain way within the system. So once you know that, you know how to target the cards that are like in the tens, 20s, and 30s and like 100,000 limit or whatever, right? And so, what did he say? That's what he objective. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's funny. Um, what was I saying? Man, you be distracting me, bro. But where was I going? All right, bet. The availability of apps or software that can get into your phone and leave no noticeable noticeable sign that it's on your phone. And I'll be honest, I'm surprised more people aren't doing this. And in terms of um there's already technology that allows you to, like, let's say law enforcement of certain, groupings, certain levels, they can walk into a building and drop certain things that will run through every phone that's like within a certain distance from them, if not like within X amount of floors of where they are, right? But where we are now, or at least where we're going, it's the whole thing of what happens when that technology gets out to the non-law enforcement people. What happens when the person figures out how to write the code to have it where their flipper style or their flipper like device can do it where it will scan your phone, drop some kind of worm thing in that's like, oh, here's the apps on the phone. And there's already malware that will search your phone and like, oh, you have these type of wallets on your phone. Are they crypto related or are they traditional bank related? And then it just runs through on your crypto related wallets. But we're not at scale yet for the bullshit. It's coming. Sad to say, it's coming. I'm just saying, folks, like, be more aware, be more cautious on, like, if you're not using your NFC, if you ain't actively listening to music or something, a book, whatever, like, you don't need to be just walking around with the Bluetooth on. You don't need to connect to every Wi-Fi hotspot. Like, the amount of times I see somebody phone and they be having like 2 to 3 of those things on, I'm just like, wow, man. Like, thankfully you only stay over here, but if you was just out and about, like, Jesus Christ, you are just asking for it. People's digital footprint is well, their signal footprint, let's say it that way. The signal footprint is wild. How folks just be like leaving themselves open. But I just wanted to throw that one out there in terms of relating it to the idea about security, because you also got to remember, like, yes, there's the part of what you do on the digital side, but I'm gonna still argue, like, going forward, you're gonna see more criminals, more questionable elements going back to the basics. Hey man, I will punch you in your face if you do not put the pin in this phone. I don't remember if anybody remember. I think it was it last year that I was doing the stories. It might have been the year before, where like it was a story about how people were getting caught in this particular neighborhood in London. It was like either they were on their way from a club or they were like out in the street in the neighborhood at a certain time, and cats was getting them. Cats was just getting them then. Like, and oh, don't forget, you also got the folks who ain't even trying to really rob you on the crypto related apps. Like, you got the stuff going on where females would be like, oh, like cash at me $5, and then like they putting the number in, but then they actually putting in and taking all of your money out your cash app. Like it life is out here life, and it's treacherous a lot of ways, man. Um and I'm gonna leave that one there, and I'm gonna close out with this story here. Where are you? Where? Oh, you know what? Nope. Where? Yes. So this is the nominees for best micro coal, which I don't know still what coal is. And I should also point out, I have no idea who any of these other people are. Like, none of them. None of them. And so this morning, when I seen this, where was it? Which part of it was I at? So I got tagged in it. Basically, the whole thing is like, hey, we track or nominate people who have like under 250,000 subs between TikTok and Twitter. And y'all know, if you've been following me for a minute, you know, the way we talk about this stuff is not like I'm out here trying to chase the bag or I'm out here trying to make a list. And I've said that many times over the years. Like, I'm not out here trying to do it that way. Like, that's not what I'm worried about. Um, but I thought it was interesting that somehow I ended up on here, and I don't even know. Like, I'm still at the loss on like how did I even come up on your radar? Because I swear I think like my following number might be 1,000 on Twitter, and the only reason I'm having as much as I do on the YouTube side is because of King and them, right? Because YouTube hates when you do double what is it? Not double content, like copy content. So in the example of I live stream on the Gentleman of Crypto side, but it also live streams on my actual channel. But the traffic on my actual channel is garbage compared to the traffic on the Gentleman of Crypto side, right? And because it's the same exact content, YouTube algos is definitely just trashing me for putting it in people's feeds. But it is what it is. But this situation right here, and at first when I seen the video, I didn't get what was going on. I was like, what? Who the fuck are these people? Like, I don't even know who this is. And I didn't really read it. And so it was, where is it? No, where is it at? It was this person here that, where are you? It's not showing all of the post, but it was one person in particular that did like whatever. And a matter of fact, I just realized this shit. Are they showing? Huh. It actually isn't showing all of the stuff that's with this post. Cause I did the Dave Chappelle joint where he like looks and he's like, makes the face. I'm cool. And then the person who actually has this account um responded back to me because I was just like, how did I even get on this? I don't even know what y'all are, and I don't know who any of these other people are. I don't know if they've been around as long as me or they just came like, during COVID. I have no clue. But whatever. It is what it is. I'm just, I don't know, man. Like I said, I just feel like I'm in this unk status, and I just don't be caring um about a lot of things going on in this space. And so, like it is what it is. If people pick it up based on this, all right, cool. But I'm not over here worrying about YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or X, or none of it as a bread and butter thing. And even, oh yeah, that reminds me. Total segue. September, Black Blockchain Summit, in DC. Oh God, what is the date? I forgot. Wait, you know what? Calendar. I have a calendar for a reason. And it is the 26th and the 27th of September is the Black Blockchain Summit. If you are out and about in DC, you want to talk, you want to see if I'm actually the same way in public as I am on the mic, pretty much, come through. Me doing that this year, and we'll see. What is that, the 9th year at this point? Honestly, I didn't think it was gonna make it this long, but here we are. Yeah, it's happening. Again, September 26th and the 27th at the Howard University main campus, and I forgot the annex building, but it will be the Black Blockchain Summit, and it's going to be a whole bunch of crypto talking stuff. Y'all know me, I don't do the price talk stuff, but I can tell you a bunch of other things, Ooh, excuse me. So, yeah, but like I said, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that was never the intention to be everybody's cup of tea. But if I say something that makes you think, that makes you question this space, great. Hopefully, you tell somebody and do a like on the video or the clip or the whatever and do a share and let it go from there, man. Let it go from there. And that's all I got for y'all tonight. Now I'm tired. Now I am tired. But yeah, I'll let it go. As I say, folks, from one human to the next, the best thing that I can wish for you is to be in a safe place, in a safe space, and in good company. And like I said, life is out here lifing, man. Like, I know folks who got stuff going on right now that, yeah, life out here lifing. Take the time to say hi. Take the time to say I love you. Take the time to say, hey, because folks is literally here today and gone the next minute. It's been a hell of a last like 2 weeks, y'all, for real. But I hope y'all had a good weekend. I hope you're having a good start to your week, and I hope you have a very good and blessed week as it goes forward. If you hear my voice, I'm wishing the best for y'all out there. And that's all I got, man. That is all I got. Let me cut this out. I appreciate the folks who joined, who took a time to listen. And that's all I got. I'm Trek with 2 Ks.